Okay. Well, Annie D, Emily, Kitty, so lovely to have you here. I'm Carly. I'm the founder and CEO of PS Group. Jamiroquai is our intern.
Mhm.
He's unpaid. He's unpaid. It's really illegal.
Terrible.
Uh, it is my pleasure to introduce Cassie Cummings, Michael Vegas, Siouxsie
Hola.
Q, and Nikki Night. I think Bad Kitty is probably confused with the links, which is to be expected. I still am myself, but this is going to be just a casual roundtable chat about how, and like maybe we don't all necessarily experience imposter syndrome, but it's how we relate to the concepts, I think.
I
So
read that list of types of imposter syndrome in your email. I grazed it as you suggested. I'm 1 and 2. I am 1 and 2. That's a 2-time sufferer. I'm
I
yeah,
impostering on my imposter.
I definitely felt a little from each of them. Like if you
Yeah.
look at the types of seductors from the art of seduction, you find yourself to be like a little bit of each one of them.
I
yeah,
love that book.
absolutely. I
I love
actually
that
have
book.
like short versions that I could read over so people are like, oh yeah, that's right. So we've got 5 types of imposter syndrome. Perfectionist, where you set excessively high goals. And also, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. And you have a tendency towards micromanaging.
I
Cassie,
don't
don't say
micromanage.
a
I just
word.
never delegate.
I didn't realize I was coming onto this panel just to get picked on.
Yeah, right.
No, I was
Well,
saying
you're
because,
here
like,
now.
you know mine. You know me.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we've got the Superwoman, the Superman, where you just expect yourself to be at that, ridiculous level. And when you don't achieve that, or you don't ask for help or anything like that, you feel like you get validation from your achievements and your efforts, and you compare yourself to others, and you get validation from measuring up. And so you just work harder and harder and harder. There are the natural geniuses, which is not just perfectionism, but perfectionism on the first try. And it's sort of like I had a whole thing, that if if things come easily to you, what's the point of doing something that doesn't? Because you're just a failure in that capacity. Then we've got a soloist, and people who won't ask for help because that reveals, their innate fraud or phoniness. Then there is the expert. They measure their competence based on what and how much they know. And they fear being exposed because they are inexperienced or unknowledgeable. So I would love to hear what everyone is sort of relating to. I cut you off, Michael, but
I feel like there were a number of these that I related to, but none of them that I directly related to. For example, like perfectionist and like needing to do it on my own. And it's not so much about needing to do it on my own, is I don't possess the skills to delegate fast enough. Like me doing it is so much faster often than having to take the time to explain to a non-expert about how to do it the way I want. And in time crunch situations, those minutes are very valuable to me.
Because it's very hard unless you've gone through a managerial course, right? And you're coming up from work experience, right? We both direct and produce adult films. We came up through performing in adult films, and now we're the boss and all of that. But managing a team is a whole separate job than producing a movie, right? And so like learning those managerial skills, of which we both had like scraps and scrapes through our professional history.
Usually from bad managers.
Who are rooted in supremacy and boss culture that's toxic. It's tough. It's tough to sort of because you don't want to be the bad boss and perpetuate that culture of toxic boss stuff. So instead of going through this is how I teach someone to do the thing that I'm already an expert at, you just go get a snack, I'll do this. like, which is, you know, because it's a separate skill that is not often taught.
Yeah.
Thank you for going through a managerial class. I think every fucking manager on earth at least owes it to us to go.
Totally.
So thank you. Sorry,
It's honestly,
I cut you off.
my favorite part about being a producer director is I get to erase a lot of the bad boss experiences people have had for both me and the people that are on set.
People call, oh my God, I'm in traffic. I'm 20 minutes late. I'm freaking out. Oh my God, the Zoom link doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm like, we get the opportunity to tell someone else, hey, no one's going to yell at you.
Yeah.
Hey, no one's going to fire
I'm not
you.
gonna yell at you. Do you
That's
want me to
nice.
be mad at you right now? If that will help you, I'll do it, but I'm not mad.
I actually have a rate for that, so I'm not available for that.
Kathy, how are you like relating to all of this? I mean, don't say anything about the bad boss, please. Cassie,
Okay, my boss is fantastic. She's an angel sent from heaven. I've been graced by her presence. No, I think all 5 of these I've related to at some point in my life. I think I hit one, figure it out, fix it, correct my behavior, and then hit the next one. And I think for me right now, where I'm at is I hold myself to a higher standard than I think the people around me. And like what you two were just saying, where like you get to tell the people, your team below you now, like, hey, no one's going to yell at you.
Mm-hmm.
I still have that mentality. The only person above me is Carly.
Totally.
Carly doesn't yell at me. So
Yeah,
I'm just yelling at myself now.
Yes, and that is the
I'm
worst
the
part.
one telling you don't yell at yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where the imposter syndrome comes in, is when you start yelling at yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Be bad by yourself.
Well, no one knows your failings the way you do, right? No one's going to pick you apart the way you can. And I'm pretty good at it. You know, I've spent a lot of time perfecting it.
Yeah, thinking on the genius archetype that we have here, and not wanting to do things that you're not instantly good at. That feels like it's also coupled with an ADHD type of diagnosis.
Certainly.
That a lot of people are dealing with due to short attention spans and media intake now. But also, it seems like a way of like playing to your strengths, right? Why push a boulder uphill when you can push the boulder downhill? And so like you build a team of people so you can have people that are better at the jobs. My executive function sucks. I am not good in an office, but I can imagine a movie in my head from beginning to end and make sure it happens in pictures. And like other people can't do that. They're better at this executive function that actually keeps the company afloat. So like learning to forgive yourself for these shortcomings, for example, the genius of having to do it right and be good the first time, and realizing that it's not an imposter syndrome. It's just that somebody will be better at a different job than you, and you have to accept that you are not the best at everything, which sort of helps eliminate the soloist also.
Right. But for those of us who were praised for being talented and gifted in our younger years, it's tough because, hey, why would I go do things that I am only mediocre at when I'm really, really good at singing, dancing, whatever. And I get praised for that. And that's all my self-worth is tied to. No, I'm not interested in trying anything else. I would just like to do the things I'm naturally good at and getting praised for my inner child. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah.
Nikki, you were saying that you recently had a moment where you just sort of questioned yourself.
Every fucking day.
Like this.
So
just now, the moment. Yeah.
Not 10 minutes a fucking go. So for everyone who just joined the chat, like we're referencing a list of different types of imposter syndrome, and perfectionist, superhuman, natural genius, soloist, and then of course the expert. I severely identified with the first one. Perfectionism and imposter syndrome go hand in hand. I never delegate. I just do everything myself. I love teaching, but I don't consider that passing off a job. I still consider that me working. When I miss an insanely high mark, like I just assume that I can do things. Like, why can't I do this? Like, what the fuck? I am dyslexic, so I don't feel like it has to be 100% perfect, but I do get very like okay, we need to fix this, and like, okay, I need to know and I need feedback, and let's do it. Let's fix it right now. Superwoman, do you stay later at the office than the rest of the team? Holy fuck. Yeah, I absolutely try and do it all. I try and do all these things. And recently, I actually, when you asked me to be on this panel, I was having an imposter syndrome, simply because, like, again, I'm happy that I only have 2 of these things. Not being the best at something is something you have to accept as an educator, because if I'm the only expert out there, that's fucking terrifying. And I don't expect myself to be a genius at everything at first. Like, I really love learning, so I'm fine with asking questions. I'm fine with all that stuff. I'm fine with trying new things. But that doesn't mean I don't get severely, severely overwhelmed by feelings of inadequacy at things that are new. Like, I have a new position. I'm managing events at a fan site, my club now, and I haven't had to run a fucking show forever. Strip Chat owns my club, so I'm having to do the booth for both now, and it's just like, here you go, boop, and I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck. I've had no meetings with anyone, and I'm like, oh my god, like, I'm gonna fucking fail this. Oh my god, like, just sitting there and obsessing and scrolling over booth ideas and being like, oh my god, like, oh, I'm gonna fail. And then all of a sudden feeling like someone else who clearly is not the right fit for my position, clear, like, it's not even that they wouldn't be good at it. Like, for some reason, I feel like someone else could just swap out my job and be like, oh yeah, no, we'll just replace you like a chess piece. You're completely replaceable. And then I was like, what the fuck? And I was so in my head. And then you message me and you're like, hey, do you want to be on this panel about imposter syndrome? And that right there helped me validate the fact that I am valuable, and that no, not just anyone can be like, oh yeah, totally, I just get to go do these cool things and blah 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 blah. So you asking me to be here actually helped me kind of get over it. And for anyone listening in the chat, if you are dealing with imposter syndrome or feeling like you're replaceable, extremely replaceable, if you're feeling like you just couldn't be as powerful or as successful as people tell you, like, it's just not possible. I don't feel that successful. I don't feel that way. Thing that I think you should do is go over a list of all your achievements and like look at the things that make you unique. Really look at the things that have brought you here. Kind of, do a little memory lane walk down your own career. And I think it will help. That, and drinking wine will also do it.
Yeah, having something open-ended where it's like, can I be replaced in this job? It's like, basically, yes, everybody can be replaced in a job, or the world would stop functioning. However, the value you bring is not just knowing how to do the job, but knowing how to do the job the way you do the job.
Yes, of course.
Right. And like, you bring your own unique perspective to everything you do. And it's that individuality of job execution that really makes us hireable.
And I think that for the adult industry specifically, we're going through such and creator economy, regardless of who you are, adult or not, we're in a renaissance right now. And there's slightly more examples of what success looks like in this still fairly non-traditional job of being an online creator and being an out and proud worker in the adult industry. Still pretty new, everybody. I remember like 2013, 2012, just being 2016, being beside myself, being like, what am I doing? This isn't a job. This isn't something anyone's done before. I'm like a weird porn star, but I do advocacy and I think I can be in charge of stuff. I'm like, what am I doing? My little red band. Like, I was just because I didn't know. There wasn't anybody I could look to, really, like, bless Annie Sprinkle, love all of our founding foremothers, but like, it was so small until very recently when we've seen this explosion of just like, no, anyone can do this job. The tools are right here in our smartphone. Like, the whore singularity is here, but it's still very new. So for anybody who is wondering, like, is this the right path? Like, we've all been there. We've all survived. It is possible, and keep going. Even if you doubt yourself, what do they say? Even if your voice trembles, like, speak out loud or something like that. I'm misappropriating a quote. Anyway, the point is,
you still said whore singularity. right
Yeah,
on cue. So
that's all.
yeah. Poor singularity, everyone.
Poor singularity.
I am
Get
fucking
it.
here for it. I will become one with my vibrator now.
Yeah, I actually want to. Bad Kitty's coming. We had some timing issues,
Yay.
Totally
but she
fine.
will be joining us. And
Okay.
I would so and like so back up Nikki's suggestion to make your list. I actually have a friend who we will sit there when we're feeling like shit and we'll play self-aggrandizement, where you just boldly, with no shame whatsoever, brag about yourself for half an hour.
I do
You
this with
go
my
back
girlfriend all
and
the time.
forth, and it just sort of reminds you, like, oh yeah, I have accomplished a lot, or I am a badass, or look how I support others, or whatever, and then go back to being humble. But
It also feels good to support a friend, I find.
Yeah,
Like to
gassing
really
the
like
people.
yeah, like to really my girlfriend Courtney and I, we used to work together, and she's incredible at her job, and so she shares success things with me, and I really like I am absolutely very happy for her, and I'm very proud of her, and I really think about what she tells me, and I'm like, no, fucking good for you. And I find that kind of to be inspiration as well. Right.
yeah,
And then you
Totally.
get to
Cassie,
feel
what
like,
do you
I'm so
think?
nice. I'm such a good person. Look at me.
For me, it's
How-
having the local community to build off of. You all talk about having your friends where
Yeah.
you can just bounce off one another. But like for me, it took a whole collective, Suede collective, to like build a community, and for me to help expand that here in Las Vegas, for me to finally realize like, oh shit, I have people to talk to.
That's
I have
awesome.
people who are like, they think that I'm good at what I do. If I would just listen to what they're saying. And a lot of times for me, my problem is that I'm not listening to the praise other people are saying. You know, they say Cassie's good at this or Cassie did that. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It was nothing. It was fine. and I make myself small, and I don't try to take the praise or accept that what I did was special or unique or even worth paying attention to. But
But you help people.
exactly.
So you should really take that into account, because what you do is so special when you help people. And I think that also honors the experiences that you're passing, like you're giving to others. So when you are able to feel that yourself, I think you'll be able to even pass that feeling on of gratitude, helpfulness, whatever, to others. Like,
Certainly.
do unto others as whatever the fuck the saying is, but take a compliment.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird when you're in a position where you're trying to trailblaze too. When there's no path that's set forward before you, you have a lack of confidence of where you're going and what you're doing. And
Yeah.
it's hard to hear people when they're yelling, even praise from behind you, right? The back of our ears here as well. And so if you're walking this way and people start collecting behind you, following you in this path that you're doing, it's hard to even see where you are unless you like turn around and really take stock of what you've done.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes years. It takes, you have to be kind of on the other side of it. And then you look back and you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, sometimes there isn't even a single moment to turn around and look at what you've been doing.
Yeah.
You can only move forward.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy being a trailblazer. I've never really fit into any confines, and I'm dyslexic anyway. So anything anyone gave me, I would do it backwards and upside down. So I didn't give a fuck. So I really didn't mind being a trailblazer. Again, being dyslexic all the time, I'm very used to making mistakes. People being like, what is this, bitch? Like, what are you, use your words. So all that kind of stuff was great. But for me, I think it was being enough that I expected myself to be anywhere that I was. But you're absolutely right with when you are trailblazing, like so many of us are, like you guys are, you are, we all are. You don't see your path unless you stop and look all the way behind you. And it's a very good point.
Yeah, sometimes there's not time to do that until later. And then you're like, whoa.
Because you're being a super person working all the time.
Yeah, there
I've been up for days.
Isn't that one of the things, the archetypes of imposter syndrome? Super. I prefer Wonder Woman for the record, representation.
Absolutely.
Like
That's
Supergirl. No, excuse me, Wonder. Thank you.
Like one with muscles.
Yes.
You know,
how does it manifest itself? Like, do you just go into like spirals? I'm a spiral person.
I think mine manifests itself every time before I do the next task. Every single time I ask myself, do I really know how to do this? Am I going to be able to outdo myself this time? Am I going to be able to be better? Was it just like, I'm all for making it with luck, right? You know, skills, right place, right time. And, you know, you get, that's how you succeed. That's how everybody throughout history has succeeded. You have the right skills you need and be in the right place at the right time. But like, was I just in the right place at the right time? Or do I actually have the skills to do it? You know, every single time I make a movie, is this the last one? Am I going to get fired after this because I didn't do it well enough this next time?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, being working that way and being like an artist and a contractor and all that kind of stuff, for sure. That, I mean, not many people can actually handle that level of stress. Bad Kitty, welcome to the chat.
Sorry, the time zone difference. Like,
Badass with a good ass.
That's all I got.
badass with a good ass, and sometimes it's a late ass, but here she is.
Hello, baby. We love you.
Guys, hello. And I love my new friends I haven't met yet, too.
Yes. Nikki Night, Bad Kitty, Cassie Cummings, Bad Kitty, all of us in the event. This is Bad Kitty.
Oh, we're still doing guns?
I totally neglected to do like proper intros to you guys. So I'll allow you to go like this camera, this camera, this camera. But I won't make you eat hot wings beforehand. But so Kitty, we're discussing like how your feelings of imposter syndrome can sometimes manifest themselves.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I know me, I'm just jump right into it. I know me, it's like, if I get into like a mood or a funk, I'm just like, well, I'm just not going to do it. You know, like I'm like, fine, then I'm just not going to do it. And that, you know, you're like, well, I guess it's not important if I don't do it, like nothing's going to matter. And then you're like, wait a second, like it actually matters a lot. And I need to just do it because I'm that bitch. And, you know, like, I know I definitely have an all or nothing type of thing when it comes to
slightest opposition, burn it all down.
Yep.
You know, like it's gotta burn it. So I know that.
I wonder if that would fall under the genius category, because it's like, you know you can do it, but you
and some days
experience just the slightest thing and it's like, well, this isn't working out perfectly, I have to quit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly. No, and I just feel like that's
And procrastination comes hand in hand with all of this.
Well, yeah, you have to wait for the perfect moment to launch, and if it never comes, well, you know, you just keep waiting.
Fuck that, I force it. I'm the decider. I'm the one making the fucking decisions, so it will do what I say, and that's how it goes. It's, I mean, it doesn't
but
work.
how do you make yourself do it? That's where I'm like, I have to do this right now. I'll take a nap. Like, stupid body, do what I tell you to do.
So I struggle, you
medication.
Know, that's the thing. We've all heard that you know, procrastination is actually a form of emotional regulation, etc. But I've found, so okay, we were talking about that every time you go in to make another movie, it's like, oh, was it all luck? Are they all going to find out I'm actually not pretty? It was just makeup the whole time. It's like, today's the day, you know, finally that it all falls apart. I come from a theater background, and I think a lot of the ways that I function are really informed by that. My mom used to always say that, like, if you don't have stage fright right before you walk on stage, like, you should probably quit the show because you don't care. And so anytime I get that feeling of like, oh God, it's going to be so hard today, I don't know what's going to happen. It's like, nope, that's just stage fright. That's just your imposter syndrome telling you to invest, that you're really invested.
Doing something right. You're doing something that scares you. Every single wise person will say, like, do something that scares you. It's the only way to ensure personal growth. So I think your mom's a genius.
She is. And then there's also this piece of like, I won't do things until it's time to do them. And yes, sometimes that is procrastination, but I'm trying to just give myself the grace of knowing that I will do it. Cause like in the theater, right? I don't know how many of you come from that background, but you rehearse and great. And it's shitty until your dress rehearsal. And that's the night that it's the shittiest. If you have a good dress rehearsal, your opening night is probably going to bomb. If your dress rehearsal is shit and all the tech cues go bad and the lead actor sings off key and all the things go wrong, your opening night is going to slay, honey, because you got all the kinks worked out. And so for me, I know my body started doing that at like age 6 years old, just like theater production, burr, 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 burr. And so until it's opening night, until that opening night switch goes off for me, and it may be 2 a.m. this morning before this panel, but that's when it goes. And that's my superpower. And in the movie Shakespeare in Love, there's this like little tidbit that they always talk about. I don't know how it all works out. It's a mystery, but it does. Every play goes, every movie gets made, everything all works out in the end, even though we wring ourselves in half because of it, but it does. And that's where I like to live.
You know what? I feel like that is what ultimately can save myself from imposter syndrome. Did I forget a cable? Did I forget a piece? Did I forget a part of the story? Did I do any of these things? It's like, yeah, but so what? Because the thing I am not an imposter about is knowing my tenacity in getting things done, right? And no matter what happens, I will work with what I have to finish the best that I possibly can. And so, like, you think
That's being
everything's
an artist.
think everything's gonna go perfect in your life? You have not tried life.
Yeah, exactly.
So just work with what you got and don't spend your time spiraling out of control.
Yeah.
You know, spend the energy that you have left putting it towards something that can help you succeed, even if it's just a little bit.
And isn't it so funny when you do it, like something that you've been putting off and you do it and you like exceed your own expectations and you realize, oh, that was really easy. Like I should have just done it 6 months ago.
I hate that realization.
Yeah. And you realize like, oh, wait, I really am the person that I think I am. I really am as good as I think I am. And even if it's something that you don't share out to somebody, even if it's just something that, you know, only you see, and you realize, oh, I should do this all the time, or I should have just done this, or, you know, like me, maybe I shouldn't have had 7 assistants and fired them all because I knew that I was going to do it way better. You know, like that's kind of the thing. Was like when I was thinking about, you know, I feel like when I look at like the imposter syndrome, you know, the different types, I'm definitely like the genius and the soloist, because I'm like, I know I can do everything, but I want the help. But I know that if I let people help me, that they're not going to do it right. And then I'm like, I should have just did it my whole time. I'm the bomb, you know, type of thing. So it's so funny when you like force yourself into a situation where you realize like, oh, damn, like I was really the one the whole time with the answers and the keys and, you know, everything.
So you're actually like solving your own problem or answering your own question. I can't give this to someone else because they won't do it as good as me, but yet you have imposter syndrome thinking these things, but anyone else that you hand it off to, like the quality is just going to be subpar. So
Absolutely.
You're like almost validating yourself in this weird way. It's almost like looking in the mirror but seeing the back of your own head. Like what?
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a strange, wacky thing because you're like, I had the whole time.
It's like an egomaniac with low self-esteem, as they say. Or you're a piece of shit at the center of the universe. But because there is such a discrepancy between how others see us and how we see ourselves. I mean, I'm looking at 5 individuals who are rock stars, but yet you all said, yes, I will come on the panel and talk about my own imposter syndrome. And I mean, I think that's a really good segue. If we have any questions from anyone who's watching, you can just pop them into a chat. You don't have to do the proper Q&A thing. But does anyone have specific questions? How people handle it? How people, you know, progress with it?
Annie Moss says that she identifies with expert and perfectionist.
I think the perfectionist is pervasive. And
I used to let my perfectionism really, like I used to procrastinate a lot. And then I think like once I started like getting to a point where the things I was affecting, I could lose it or I could actually damage it. I went and saw a hypnotherapist to try and reverse any kind of, he was just a weird pervert. He just looked at my boobs the whole time, which I mean, I thank him for because they're nice, but still. And it was to try and like stop myself from self-destruction or identify self-destruction, which really did help. And then in that way, I was able to not procrastinate, to self-destruct, to try and, because really all that is you get here and then you're afraid to go any higher because you might fail. So you ruin something below you. So then you get the illusion of feeling like you're moving forward by moving up and getting back what you've already had. So by repeating this little cycle, it's almost like a cheap thrill. Like it's like a, you know, the byway version of whatever. So yeah, I'm happy that I kind of did that, but now I'm able to, I stopped giving myself time. If I think about it, I do it. Now I'm just impulsive as a motherfucker. I have 15 things on the go right now. I will finish them, but I will have 75 other things picked up by then too. So where I used to do nothing, and like you guys for sure, especially when I was an artist, like a creator artist position, that is a whole other thing than being in an office where there's some person being like, guess what, bitch? You like those benefits? Well, you're going back to fucking McDonald's. Like, get the fuck out of here. So it's like, and then just kind of testing myself to see what like I'm worth. Once I got to a point where I was going to be destructing or losing something that I actually valued, it was easier for me to be like, okay, if you think about it, you're just doing it. Because I also realized once you put it off forever, and then when you do it, you're like, that really wasn't so bad. I need to stop doing that.
Yeah. 100%. But I totally agree with what you just said. Like, it's so easy to self-sabotage. And like you said, it's like, I'm scared to go forward, so I'm going to sabotage something that I have, that I, feel like, whether it's secure in or something. And it makes me think of like this quote from Tyler Durden in Fight Club. And it's
best movie ever.
You're right. He's like, it's not until you've lost everything that you're free to do anything. And it's like one of those things that you're just like, okay, yeah, that's really bad. Like, I shouldn't self-implode, but like, I'm scared. And, and it's like, you're scared of yourself and your own potential. And I definitely realize that's, a little phase that I'm just coming out of right now is like the repair phase right now. As, just with, a lot of life things, but I was self-sabotaging because I was scared of progression, and I was, just being a boob, man. Now I'm done being a boob. So, repairing a lot of things. And yeah, it's definitely a thing. It's easy to destroy everything that you worked hard for because of whatever.
Easy to build it back up.
Exactly.
And feel that sense of accomplishment without any threat of failure because you've already done it before.
Exactly. And the ins and the outs, and you set yourself up for a second round of success. Because if you do it, you can do it again, and you can do it better.
Totally true. Kitty asked if having imposter syndrome is a bad thing at all. And like, yes, I think it's bad, but also I think it is just like a form of anxiety, right? So do you care about it? Do you feel like you're an imposter? Good. You probably are concerned with doing better and not getting into that situation. And like, people that are imposters typically don't think they're imposters.
They don't have imposter syndrome. Totally.
Very true.
We believe them. And that's why we believe them, because they don't believe it.
Actually, it's
like imposters.
It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's been researched. The more you know about something, the less confident you are that you know it. And so the most confident people, and we see it on Twitter all the fucking time, the most confident people on there are the folks who don't know fucking anything. And so I think having imposter syndrome is bad. Having imposter syndrome is bad, yes. But to what everyone else is saying, like, having it isn't reflecting bad on you. It's your knowledge and experience coming through and saying like, hey, I don't know everything. This might not go the way we want it to, but that's the investment. That is your drive to make this the best that you possibly can.
Yeah. Is having it bad? No. Is being stuck with it bad? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the spiral is my comfort shape. Absolutely. And like, that's a joke, but I do somewhat enjoy being in that spiral because it's comforting. Like, I don't have to do it as long as I'm spiraling. if I spiral long enough, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and it takes longer to climb out of. But
I support you in your power to climb.
well, thank you.
I hand you a ladder because you don't deserve that shit.
Thank
But
you.
I also support you in your desire to drop the ball, to walk away. Like there's so many opportunities. I struggle with this a lot. Like when I started my career in like 2012, started being Siouxsie Q full time. You know, there have been so many opportunities that have come my way in this time, and you can't take all of them. They all sound great, and to my little Gemini brain that like shiny, fancy, exciting, like let me apply for that job and this job and do this shoot and do like I want to do it all, and you can't. And I get to a place of overwhelm, and it's like, oh, I'm procrastinating. No, you literally signed up for too many things, bitch. You can't do all that. And so like, I really want to have anyone who's watching who is like in that place of overwhelm and identifying as, oh, imposter syndrome or procrastination or whatever you want to call it.
Overachieving in slow motion. You're overachieving in slow motion.
That's really smart. Yeah.
But also acknowledge discomfort and acknowledge that sometimes you are uncomfortable for a reason, and you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And it's okay to say no to things, and it's okay to walk away, and it's okay to drop certain balls if those balls, forgive me for the joke here, if those balls are making you uncomfortable. You don't have to deal with those balls.
Yeah, if your balls drop, it can make you uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's true.
And you don't have to deal with that. That, you know, I find myself more and more being like, okay, I'm feeling discomfort about not wanting to do this task or this opportunity or whatever. Why? Is it because I'm out of my comfort zone and feeling afraid of failure? Or is it because like, I don't fucking like this thing. It's a waste of my time and it's a suck of my energy.
Yeah. Are you bored doing it?
Are you in a toxic situation? Like I was in a situation in like 2018 where I got what I considered my dream job, right? I was working at the ACLU of Southern California, as Michael's eyes got really wide, as the LGBTQ and reproductive rights organizer, right? Sounds great. My mom was real proud. I was like, look, mom, being a whore, it actually got me a job at a nonprofit. Aren't you proud? But I was miserable. I was super miserable. I did definitely feel like I had imposter syndrome because a lot of people there thought I did as well. You know, it was hard being the only out whore, the only, you know, person like me in that space. And you know what? After a year, I was done. I didn't want to feel that way anymore. And it was really hard to walk away from something that I considered the dream, right? But when I got there, how did it make my body feel? How did it make my mind feel? It wasn't what I thought it would be. And so it was okay to walk away. Yeah. And I want to empower anyone who's watching in that position to do that. It's okay to walk away.
Yeah. I feel like people forget to ask themselves, how do I want to feel? Right? How do I want to feel while doing this? How do I want to feel ever? Yeah. And then aim for that. Not a lot of people are like, I want this, I want this, I want this. It's like, okay, how do you want to feel getting them? Because if you don't feel good while you're achieving, what are we doing here?
You may want to be a top cam star, but do you hate getting on cam every morning? Does it make you physically ill to like get in that space? Yeah, then don't do it. Take something else.
Yeah. Want to be male performer of the year? Want to be female performer of the year? You also want to show up and work for every one of those directors that's paying money to have the top film that you hate working for, that wastes your time and underpays you? No, that doesn't sound fun.
No.
But
No.
It's never fun when dreams like don't meet your expectations. And I mean, of course, on the outside, everything always looks so much nicer. I've definitely had that where I got to a place where I was like, oh my God, this is it. Like I've reached some kind of level of something. And it was the most toxic bullshit I've ever had in my life. And then all of a sudden you look around, you're like, well, what do I do now? Yeah. So that can be kind of scary, but
time for a chrysalis.
And then you're at Tyler Durden. Right? Then you get to, okay, if I blow everything off that's making me feel shitty, what do I actually want to do?
And then I became a cam model. Well, first I hit rock bottom and was all crazy after my divorce and like just the rockiest of bottoms, like, and here we are now. I wouldn't change it for the entire world.
Rocky Bottoms is a good stripper name, by the way.
Totally.
Rocky Bottoms is my new alter ego. Yes.
Okay, so how about this? How about to close us out, we play self-aggrandizement.
Woo!
Let's do it.
So Cassie, do you want to go first?
Shit. Yeah, okay. Let's see. I'm probably the newest performer here in this group of big, badass. Well,
Do better. More about you. This is
yeah.
terrible.
I mean, okay, fine. More about me. More about me. All right. So I've only been doing this for 3 years. I've met a lot of great people. I've been nominated in a lot of different award shows. Never
Woo!
won. I'll get there.
Oh, I'm going to cheer for you this
I
whole
think there's
fucking
a
time.
lot.
Thank
He
you.
means a lot, like 9.
8. Thank you for exaggerating.
Eight feeling
8.
great. That's pretty fucking amazing.
8. I'm picking myself up. Got new hair. I'm ready to come back. Ready to make
Hair
some
looks
new
great.
porns. Thank you. I've still got like 50 fucking videos to release that still have not seen the
You
light of day.
filmed 50 videos and have 50 videos in a bank waiting to be released. That's fucking incredible. I know people who don't even have half of an idea, and their phone's broken, plus their webcam doesn't work, and their internet just got shut off.
No.
So like, you are in a place of like, you have got the resources to propel yourself.
Oh, I do.
So you've got 50 videos. That's impressive. Please continue.
Yeah, so in 2.5 years, I filmed over 200 videos. 150 are already out in the wild. I've got 50 more in a back catalog. Sometimes I'm like, I want to get back out there and start filming some more. I want to get out back, but I've got so much still to release. I got to take my time, enjoy what I've got. It's not about the go, because part of my problem is that if I'm not constantly going, I feel like I'm failing somewhere. So I got to remember that I have done a lot. I've met a lot of great people, and I've climbed and climbed and climbed, and I'm still climbing.
Tell us about your activism work.
Yeah, so I volunteer with the Suede Collective. Started as a
Can you
Las
put
Vegas
Suede's
community.
website into the chat?
SuedeCollective.org.
I'm dyslexic. I'm not even going to try.
SuedeCollective.org. So we've now expanded into LA. And we can also mail harm reduction supplies, safer sex supplies, and provide abortion support for anyone outside of this area. Yeah, we're a 501c3 nonprofit status, so all donations going to us gets put right back out into the community as mutual aid, and it's a tax write-off for you. So
you're on the same level as churches. That means you've leveled up to a literal, like, government level God status. You're above taxes. They say that you can't avoid those or death. So
that's true.
That's true. I'm gonna put that.
You're never
right
dying, Cassie.
For disclaimer, Suede was not my brainchild. I am just a part of a team. So, but yeah,
teamwork, baby.
Thank you.
Kitty, do you want to play self-aggrandizement where you just brag?
Yeah, just brag.
Start with your awesome shirt.
My awesome shirt.
Yeah.
I fucking love Hello Kitty.
Thank you, Target. Oh goodness. See, this is the hardest part when you have to like talk about yourself, especially like in a positive light. Oh shit.
I know. I immediately started trying to talk about all of you.
Right. Well, I'll just say some cool things that happened this week I've noticed that when I put my mind to, I can really do. I've been trending for like 2 days on Sex Panther, so I was really excited about that, tearing that up. And I
got the phone. Did you guys have that commercial there? Yes. Good for you.
Hello. But I don't know. It's so hard for me to talk about myself. I'm just gonna keep saying I don't know because I don't.
Didn't you host the Urban X Awards?
Oh my gosh! So I did host the Urban X Awards, the first BBW to host the Industry Awards. I mean, that was pretty cool. I won an award for favorite BBW, so that means I have 2 now. One from AVN as well.
It's kind of a lot. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a couple things here and there. I don't know if. I think mainstream broke up with me about 1.5 years ago, a little bit. It's been a while since I've been booked, so maybe if my friends who are on this call can give me a job, that would be so awesome. So really, I've just been putting everything in my own basket. So yeah, I'm in the rebuild phase right now. So I think that's why I feel a little like, I don't know what to say, because maybe I was burning to the ground. Somebody called the fire department, and it was me, and we saved some of it. So we're back to being a badass.
Do you have any future plans or goals, or even like a general idea of like projection where you want to go? Like
No.
things that no, not at all.
Not
Tyler
because
Durden. No, Tyler
Yeah.
Durden.
yeah, like I just,
Yeah.
I just have, I feel like the refreshed drive, and we'll see where the car goes. But I'm feeling refreshed. I think
Literally,
awesome.
where you're driving, I want to go there. So like,
Yeah.
let me just hop in the back because it's going places.
Yeah. Sorry, Cassie, I didn't mean to DM that to you, but Will Powers, Adventures in Success. It's a song that you should listen to. And it is just like, it's a cool little beat, kind of sounds like an exercise song, but it will teach you through lyrics to grandize yourself and take stock of what you have. And it is literally a self-help song that is great to dance to.
Snoop Dogg released some like really uplifting like affirmations for little ones that are very nice, no matter what age you are. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So you guys, you have had a lot going on lately. Well, everyone has, but do yourself aggrandizement. Plug.
Nikki, go.
Oh, me. Oh, okay. So I'm Nikki Night. I just got a brand new job at my club. Jesus, my mind blanked there for a moment. So I just got a massive promotion at my club. I was chosen over other people. I'm constantly learning. I feel like I'm a wonderful leader. I absolutely have done a lot for this industry. I've made a huge impact in training and coaching. I was the first coach that there ever was. I recently got asked to be on a virtual roundtable for Imposter Syndrome, which is fucking amazing. I am speaking on a lot of panels at XBIZ and where else? XBIZ and maybe X3. I've been a brand ambassador. I'm really fun. I'm really smart.
You're a good friend.
Thank you. I'm really into problem solving. I love helping and fixing, but I feel that I've gotten a lot better at, and I am good at now, trying to be more self-aware and look at myself and see what the fuck. Mushrooms help. I feel that I am the example that I would like to see in the world.
Good one. That's good.
Thank you.
I really like
guys, Siouxsie and Michael.
But it is hard, guys.
I want to point out that Kitty just in the chat just said that Nikki is their hero.
Aw.
Yeah. Just didn't want that.
I want to be like all of you. Like seriously.
You know
okay,
what?
Let's
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna aggrandize you and you can do me. How about that? Is that allowed?
No, you have to do it to yourself. It's not the same.
Okay,
no rules here.
Okay.
No, I'm making the rule. You got to aggrandize yourself. Otherwise, you don't feel it in your body the same way.
Okay. We've directed and produced probably almost 200 movies together at this point, which is more than I have performed in. Not Michael's beat me a little bit in that regard, but like I have officially surpassed more movies as a director producer than I have as a performer, which feels like some sort of weird milestone that I like never intended to have, but is very cool. You
guys sound like an excellent team.
We are a little two-headed monster, and I think
monsters.
one of my biggest accomplishments, honestly, is that we have built a life where we get to be with each other and people that we love all the time. We have an amazing crew of queer and trans people and elders. Sorry, Sal and Joel, but like truly, these people have been in the adult industry. Our gaffer Joel is a third generation pornographer. Like these are experts and geniuses in their field. Sal is a Hall of Famer. We love our life and we love getting to work with the people that we work with. I also get to work with PASS, which is how I know Cassie, the Performer Availability Screening Service, which works towards health and safety in the adult industry. I still do that every month, and it's so deeply important to me to keep my foot in that advocacy space, and I do want to do more of that in the future until sex work is decriminalized and destigmatized everywhere. PassCertified.org. Thank you so much, Carly. That's...
Yeah, I love that shirt. That is great, Nikki.
Yes!
That's what it says.
That's sick. That's sick. Yes. Oh, yes. My aesthetic represents the We Can Do It poster, and I am a visual motivation for me. Thank you, Kitty. Yes, I aim to be the Rosie the Riveter, Tracy Turnblatt of the adult industry, and I feel like I'm doing there. I just want to like dance and end racism and get some unions in here. So, thank you.
Can't stop the beat.
Can't stop it. Chubby girls forever.
Yeah. I said, give me a job.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's gotta happen.
Yeah.
So I've had the adult film industry as my main source of income for 13 years. That's all I've had to do is play with my friends for the last 13 years. And I figured out a way to keep it fresh, to keep feeling good about it, and to expand what I'm allowed to do into areas that I've always wanted to do. First, I started having sex for money, which was great, and I loved it. But then I wanted to do more art for money, and not just art as an actor, but I wanted to do art as a creator and somebody that can really put their own spin on the final product, and created Monster Mouth, the production company that we both run and hires a team of POC, trans, queer people having a great time, also putting their mark on adult films that go out into the larger collective. I am a great collaborator. I am incredibly good with the camera. I'm super awesome to hang out with. I'm really fun and zany. I'm a sick ass boss. I like to, I'm a great actor. I can do anything.
You're the best at this.
Do anything. I have overcome my inability to believe in myself when I realized that everybody's making it up anyway. And so I have watched people with far less knowledge and ability than me achieve great things because they know how to talk about it.
Yep.
So I have also overcome the stupid little scared person in me. And I didn't like overcome them because that's ego trying to keep you down. And you can never get rid of your ego, but you can learn to live with it and have it help you. And when it pops up, just like imposter syndrome, be like, no, I see you there. And so I've gotten better at dealing with myself as a person and overcoming the obstacles that I have encountered and set up for myself in this world. I can do anything, literally, and I believe that you can too, and I am here to help you achieve those things through love and life mastery. The end. Thank you for coming.
Yo, you make me want to go again. That was inspirational as
Right?
fuck.
I didn't do.
Hold on, I'm not
good.
done. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm excellent at buying shoes. I'm kidding.
Seriously.
Well,
And like,
I
you know,
do want to thank all of you for being here, including our attendees who are still here with us: Annie B, Diosa, Louis, Kitty, Suki, Eloise, and Victoria. And thank you, Cassie. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Bad Kitty. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Susie. It was such a pleasure. And yeah, you helped me today.
You all helped me today.
You helped me
It's a
today.
little support group.
Fuck yeah.
I know.
I'm like, we can do this.
Yeah. Everyone in the chat, you helped me too.
yeah, you know, when we're all done here, pick a random friend or random contact in your phone list and just send them a text message that gasses them up.
Love blast. I love doing that shit. Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna do that
So
right
you
now.
guys all have your homework.
Let's
I
hear it.
appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
It was
you.
wonderful.
See you later.
Bye.
Take care.
Much
Mwah.
success to all of you.
Slay.
I love you.
Yes.
Go slay.